Ladies and gentlemen, Society Australia, I hear TV is doing Prime Minister Scott Morrison interview. They ask him about violence, family violence. This is my message to you all, Society Australia, and leaders, and politicians all Australia. Australia, you are not allowed to ask again Prime Minister about family violence. You are not allowed to ask him again about society distress. And you are not allowed to ask his Prime Minister again raping, killing women. And you are not allowed to ask him again about fire problem in the bush. This question to ask Prime Minister to TV, they bring like a game. To me, don't ask him another question about this problem. How many years we talking this problem? They never act. They never take action. They never take action. They never do anything. To ask him a question and he is not solve this problem, and tomorrow to ask him again the question, meaning your brain is not working to know him, to know who is you ask him this problem. When you ask him this question, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, they never do anything. Now why you continue to ask him this question? You think he's a children? Prime Minister is a baby? Is a don't understand? Understand? He know him is a don't want to solve or associate this violence. This is my example. ABC News. For violence overseas. For China violence. For all country. They have violence, abuses. ABC, every day he can talking about another country's abuses. Every day he can talk like 10 times. And he can put story like 10 times. And he can call on a Prime Minister to sing. He can be responsibility about abuses overseas. Which day you hear ABC, he take responsibility to put abuses Australia to TV. Now which day you hear every day he put this is the abuses rules to abuse society, he put it to TV. Now you are not allowed to go to this TV again to ask you any question and you're answering this question. And him this TV is not close with people they need to solve violence, to close with them, to think they can be one group now with these people they're talking to solve violence, to reduce violence. And you remember one day, they put them in court. They was in court. They say, this is a family violence. To solve family violence, they are not in the news, front of the newspaper. Now you ask yourself, why they ask them in the court this question? There was no to news, they're not going to put it front of the paper. Meaning there was no the control on a paper, na paper not writing the front of the paper in the news. Now when your brain is working good, you hear this, how they're talking, meaning you are not allowed to again talking about family violence, distress, to ask him a question. You society, you have to take your action, to take action yourself. You have to take action yourself. To think we can protect each other. To think we can fighting with them until they kill us, until we win them, will protect us herself. I repeat again. Since we start campaigning, we were not to do campaign. Campaign meaning to show some, to write some, to talk with someone. They are not to change him, to show him. Campaign meaning they have everything campaign. To talk liar. As we talk human rights, they are not campaign. How many times you hear to TV, to news, ABC, they put story abuses Australia, they're talking direct to Prime Minister. We abuses your society not to give them rights. I want to tell me which day you hear this news there. How many times you hear ABC talking about China? How many times you hear he talking in another country? Like I can count them I finish. And every day he can put 10 times, 20 times. And every day he have it talking until 1 month, 3 months, 4 months, until 10 months. Now this is my question. Which day you hear he talking to news in Australia the abuses with society rules? They're not allowed to ask you any question about violence, about this problem. You're answering them. Now you're going to do this interview front of them. Why I'm talking? They are not into them native. They are not interested to solve this violence. How them our country. They are not interested. I repeat again, they are not ABC, they are not interested about family violence to reduce. ABC, they are not interested society to move distress. ABC, they are not interested to sing in a fire. Society, they can be comfortable in a fire. All of violence Australia. Now when they put you there, they start to do interview, you continue talking. How many years always they ask a question? What this question is the interview they're doing in society? What is the help society? This is my question. ABC. All interview you did in society. What you help society to this interview doing? You're doing them about this violence. I want to tell you true story, society Australia. You are not going to reduce this violence, family violence. You are not going to reduce society distress. You are not going to protect yourself. You don't have your rights. To reduce family violence, they have first to give them freedom, independent. When you don't want to believe, don't believe. Now I believe you are not going to protect you. You are not going to protect each other. We don't have freedom. We don't have teaching. We don't have any teaching. You trust no punishment. They're going to solve this family violence. How many years they're living with the family? They're living with punishment. They never solve this violence. Why me? I decided I'm talking. I say, as society, we are not going to fighting ourselves. We will solve this family violence. International leaders, they have them to protect us. To single society, they can have freedom. This freedom, I repeat again, is an attack all around the world. To funding society, they come Australia, you find they move, they go away. They don't have freedom of talking. They go outside, they're not happy. And to find the society, they come here, like embassy, I repeat again. How many embassies they here? Them, they have freedom of talking. Members of parliament, when they don't have freedom of talking, ambassador, they have freedom of talking. Ministers, when they don't have freedom of talking, ambassador, they have freedom of talking. This is my question I ask them to answering me. When you hear me, I call leaders overseas to see they can protect them, her children. When they come here, they come here to have training university. Soon as them they can be free, not to have distress, not to control them her body, to use them girls her pussy. Government to have to share with to share to her body. He want income to pussy. This one they not end Australia. They not end government to change this. They're not going. Government is not going to protect society. This only they bring government not to protect our society. To want to have share to put women and pin men. You know, if you're talking family violence, you say you're against family violence, you are not going to solve family violence. Government already, he abuses the whole society, these parties. He does not give them rights. He take rights from them. Now, when you talk to God, to Prime Minister, you ask him of family violence, and in him he no direct. When society they be free, they reduce this violence. he know. Remember, treasurer when he talking to thief, he say he going to give them freedom. They're going to give them freedom. They make baby. If I don't want to give them freedom, them to solve family violence. If I don't want to give them freedom, them to solve distress. I believe when he gives them freedom, they solve family violence. They reduce family violence. They reduce distress. Families, they close each other. Children, they close with the parents. Children, they close with the society. Children, they have friends. They close each other. Everybody, he starts to teach each other when he has thinking the thinking mistake. You are not going to close each other. They blame us sex harassment. They blame us sex trafficker. They blame us sex contact. Is this all they bring society to close each other, to teach each other good behavior in the family? Is this they bring society to close each other when he miss communication? Another to ask him a question why he miss communication, and now him to thinking why I miss communication. I started to screaming. They start to blame me. They start to teach each other. Him is I don't want to teach them. Teenager to grow, to open brain. Open the brain. To move steps in the brain. You need to always to be like this, them to get distress, to start to hang them ourselves. Him is I don't care now this violence they have in the parliament, missing communication, sex contact, sex harassment. Is a missing communication. Is I don't care ministers, is I don't care members of parliament, is I don't care everything. They don't care. They don't care. When they care freedom to solve violence in the parliament, they finish to solve this problem. Them every year they have to attack each other about this. To kick each other to job. They not respect women is to talk with him, I love you. Someone to talk to with you, I love you, this is not respect you. I believe this is to respect you. Love, they are not duty, meaning to close each other, to be happy each other. I repeat again, this is your responsibility, society. Don't ask Prime Minister again. This is your responsibility to fighting with him. To fighting with him, to think he can give you your freedom to solve this violence. To think that teenager, they can close each other. they act hard rim. And natural, they act them are choice. This is the labeling them to get education, to respect each other. They bring them to close each other, to respect each other, to solve family violence. This is a message to me, to ABC. I have my page. When you have these parts, they don't want freedom, them meaning they have a page. When you know you have power, talking about freedom, your country to have freedom, to have independence, your country society to have human rights, I detach my page. Women is, I detach link. Women is rights and men rights. Now you touch for them. These people they have, when they have campaign na them they against freedom, make link, put writing there. This is a page to your society to follow this 2 page. Them to go to our page to comment, and then me to share with me our page to my page. Na me I recommend them, na them to give them my page, na them to comment to my page. And this page will give them Prime Minister Scott Morrison. He have to comment there. And in her group, all they have to comment there. And in you ABC, you do interview. Now when you finish to listen this page, to read this page or 2 page, you have to comment there. This is my question to you. Why you attack another, every day you're talking another country, they abuse society. Your country, you are quiet, you are not talking. You want to protect another people, another society overseas. You don't want to protect your society inside your country. Your TVs, you want to protect to help society overseas. Your society, your TVs, they don't help them. How many years you ask society question about family violence? What you get there to solve? What you experience you get there to solve family violence in your country? This is all of my question to you. To me, I believe you're doing a society interview only, and you are not take action. Now you have to take action to protect your society. Government, you have a responsibility to protect our society. Government, you have a responsibility to protect women's her body, not to have share to her body. This is a responsibility government. Now we need now to go to TV to talk to government to protect women's her parts, her body. Why are you doing interview family violence? You are not doing government to stop to abuse the society, to have share, to have economic, to share to body women is pussy. This is my question. This is the aeronautical. this year they are not criminal. To use women she work in a company and they use her body. To use him sex slave. To corruption our body, us all of men and women. To bring us family violence. Give them children to be freedom. Them to act them hard dream. Them to protect them hard dream. To protect her choice. Them to act hard dream. They bring them education to protect, to respect each other. Government action to want to use action punishment. They are not going to reduce this violence. You have to know punishment, to punishment someone to every day to punishment him. They can make him, they can training him criminal. I repeat again, our body, our dream, our choice, they are not responsibility of government to control these parts. Leave them to be free. Girls to give them boys gift. Na boys to give them girls gift. Na members of parliament to be free in the street. Na ministers to be free in the street. Na people businesses they have a business to go outside to be free. They protect each other. They support each other. They get education. They reduce family violence. You are not going for government is not going to reduce family violence. I repeat again to ABC. I hear always you talking countries the country government that abuses society not to give them rights. I never hear you talking your country would not give them society human rights. And that a lot of times I hear you use you talking another country because they did sex slave society. As we were not doing sex slave, you are not sex slave. Your government is not doing this. When you are not, you don't want your government to solve this criminal corruption, meaning you don't want your government and you don't want your society. Society they are a government.